He won, but it felt like losing. That's how Gojo Satoru's life ended. The strongest sorcerer alive, yet not strong enough to save the people he loved most. But what if the universe gave him one more shot? Not just to win this time, but to actually fix everything, right from the very beginning. In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, death isn't the end. It's more like a waiting room. And Gojo Satoru, even there he's completely himself. He's lounging around, cracking jokes with Geto, Nanami, Haibara, everyone who left before him. Like there's no weight on his shoulders, no regrets at all. But then he hears something, a ringing sound, like a clock ticking backwards, and somewhere in the distance, a baby crying. Strangely, Geto and the others don't hear a thing. They just keep laughing and talking. But Gojo, for the first time, feels something pulling at his heart, so he follows the sound. At the end of a quiet road sits an old train, glowing, its doors wide open. And Gojo knows instantly, this is his second chance. Geto appears behind him. He tells Gojo he's fought enough, that it's time to let the next generation carry the torch. Gojo says nothing. His hand grips the train door. He knows his students can handle it, but that's not why he wants to go back. He turns around, and this time, the regret on his face is impossible to miss. He makes his choice. He refuses to live in any world where Geto becomes a monster. Even if it means starting over from zero, Gojo swears that fate will never come to pass. Before Geto can respond, the doors slide shut, and Gojo Satoru is gone. Darkness. Then, blinding light. And in the middle of all the noise, Gojo realizes something. That loud crying? It's him. He's actually been reborn, as a baby. All his jujutsu knowledge is useless here. Even the strongest sorcerer in history can't walk, can't talk, can't control his own body. That's just his life now. But Gojo Satoru is no ordinary person. Behind those innocent blue six eyes, decades of memories from his past life are spinning. Every technique, every strategy, every name, every face, every date, all of it filed away perfectly. Staring up at the ceiling of his nursery, one thought keeps echoing through his soul. This time, he's not letting any of them die. Time passes. Little Gojo grows up, and the moment his body starts cooperating, he begins training in secret. At 4 years old, while other kids are fighting over toys, Gojo is already channeling cursed energy through his fingertips. Slowly, carefully, because if he looks too talented too soon, the Gojo clan elders, and his enemies, will start asking questions. But what's truly stunning is how fast his body develops. Things that took years the first time around, reverse curse technique, the six eyes, controlling infinity, now take months because his understanding was fully formed from day one. The curse technique breakthroughs he only discovered while dying against Toji, they're already mapped out perfectly in that tiny head of his. He also starts doing something he never did before, paying attention to the people around him, every little detail about his family that he used to ignore. Back then, he was too arrogant being the strongest. Now, he sees the world with wiser eyes. And then the day arrives. His first day at Tokyo Jujutsu High. There he is, new uniform, new surroundings, and Geto, standing tall. Perfect posture, cold expression, but eyes full of curiosity. Gojo freezes for a second as the memories come flooding back. Their laughter, their fights, all the way up to the moment everything fell apart, and the exhausted look on Geto's face at the very end. Gojo takes a deep breath. He makes a promise. This time, his best friend won't have to carry those heavy questions alone. But right now, Geto doesn't know any of this. To him, Gojo is just some annoying new classmate, cocky, full of himself, and way too attached to those sunglasses. Gojo had sworn to keep his distance, so it wouldn't hurt as much if he failed. But that resolve crumbles, bit by bit, with every day they spend together. Time moves on. Second year begins, and new underclassmen enter the story. His memories kick in immediately. Gojo has to move fast, before the first tragedy strikes his juniors. Armed with knowledge from the future, Gojo steps in directly, intercepting the deadly mission that was supposed to claim Haibara Yu and leave Nanami Kento broken. The cursed spirit that higher-ups had fatally misjudged, Gojo wipes it out, and Haibara is saved, right before it's too late. Haibara's big, bright smile, still alive, still shining, is Gojo's first proof that fate can be changed, and the first step toward keeping Geto off the dark path. Then comes the mission. Amanai Riko, the girl destined to merge with Master Tengen. Gojo knows exactly what this is, the starting point of every tragedy. And this time, he won't let history repeat itself. Last time, he got worn down until he was running on empty. This time, his preparation is flawless. Trained since childhood, his infinity now runs automatically, 24 hours a day, without draining him at all. The Q attacks, the bounty hunters, Gojo handles them effortlessly. Honestly, he's bored. Until finally, at the gates of the Jujutsu school, Toji Fushiguro arrives. From a distance, Gojo spots the man with zero cursed energy, but the killing intent radiating off him is unmistakable. In his past life, Toji nearly took his life in a brutal ambush. But this time, Gojo's feelings are complicated. because he knows Toji is Megumi's father, the father of the boy he's determined to save. Still, Gojo knows what has to be done. In a flat but firm voice, he orders Geto to get Rico somewhere safe. Geto protests hard, confused, but the look in Gojo's eyes is so serious, so unlike him, that it shuts him up. Geto chooses to trust him and takes Rico far from the battlefield. Gojo removes his sunglasses, looks the sorcerer killer dead in the eye, and steps forward. This time, losing is not an option. Toji greets Gojo with that trademark predator's grin, surprised but calm. The Six Eyes brat should have died after taking a blade through the throat. In the original timeline, Toji was certain he'd finished off his greatest prey. What he doesn't know is that he's not facing the same teenager. This is a Gojo Satoru carrying every memory and every regret from the future. Gojo floats in the air, eyes ice cold. And instead of fear, there's a faint smile on his face. The smile of a man who just rewrote the fate that once took Riko Amanai away. Thanks to his past life memories, his reverse curse technique was perfected long before this fight even started. Gojo doesn't waste a second. He flips the script immediately. Toji charges in at lightning speed, relying on animal instinct and cursed tools to cut through space. But every single move has already been read. Toji can't do anything. Against Gojo's manipulation of space itself, there is no opening to exploit. Staring down the man who once killed him, Gojo fuses the positive and negative energies of his limitless. Hollow purple forms at his fingertip, the pressure so immense it tears the air apart. Hollow purple fires and obliterates most of Toji's left side in an instant. On the edge of death, his body still standing, Toji finally understands. He lost to a sorcerer who might as well be able to see the future. Just before Toji draws his last breath, Gojo lands softly and looks at him. In a voice calm but heavy, he whispers, he knows about Megumi. He promises to take Megumi in and protect him from the Zenin clan, a promise that redeems every regret from his past life. Toji dies on his feet, a faint smile on his face. Gojo watches the body for a moment, then erases every trace of the battle. For the first time in 2 lifetimes, Amanai Riko survives. Standing at the doorway to Master Tengen, Riko firmly chooses freedom. Her own life. Gojo smiles, a genuine one. He lets her go. Geto watches her walk away. To keep Riko safe, Gojo and Geto quietly fake her death and hide her somewhere remote where she can grow up as a normal teenager. And in this moment, the darkness that once consumed Geto's heart is stopped before it can take root. No despair, no trauma. One by one, they're being saved. Gojo doesn't waste the opening either. Toji's death becomes his way into the Zenin clan. His god-tier aura alone leaves the elders trembling. Megumi is bought out, Maki and Mai are pulled to safety, all in a single move. The 3 of them are raised far from the Zenin clan, under Gojo and Geto's protection. Gojo walks alone into the deepest chamber of the Tombs of the Star, to meet Master Tengen. And Tengen realizes it instantly. This isn't a normal gaze. These are the eyes of someone who has seen the end of everything. Here, for the first time, Gojo drops the act. He tells Tengen everything, Kenjaku's plan to hijack Geto's body, all the way to Sukuna's revival. To keep the plan airtight, Gojo and Tengen seal it with a binding vow, an oath no one can break through. Tengen listens to all of it, then offers razor-sharp analysis. Gojo asks Tengen to begin modifying Japan's main barriers, to track Sukuna's fingers early, and to prepare a soul isolation field for when the vessel appears. But the moment Gojo says he wants to hunt down the prison realm, Tengen shuts it down hard. Seize the prison realm now, and Kenjaku will immediately know his plans have leaked. He'll adapt, and the new threat will be far harder to predict. Gojo knows Tengen is right, and forces himself to hold back. He stares down at his own hands, and swears to let the enemy feel like they're winning until the moment of execution comes. And this time, no one dies. Time passes. Gojo and Geto become teachers at Tokyo Jujutsu High, training the next generation. But Gojo's habit of always being one step ahead and worrying way too much about everyone around him starts making Geto suspicious. Until one night, Geto corners him and demands the truth. And Gojo knows, carrying everything alone is exactly what destroyed everything last time. So this time, he tells him everything. Geto's exhaustion, the choice that broke him. After a long silence, Geto smiles faintly and calls Gojo an idiot for going all the way back to the past just to stop him from becoming a villain. But underneath it all, Geto is grateful. Grateful to still be standing here, right next to him. With Geto at his side, Gojo starts moving on a bigger scale. Yuta is brought in far earlier, taught to control his cursed energy before Rika can cause a major incident. Gojo and Geto also quietly secure the Cursed Womb death paintings. Choso, Eso, and Kachizu are given bodies in a safe location and told the truth about their bloodline. Feeling Gojo's genuine care for his little brothers, Choso swears his loyalty and joins them in tearing down every last one of Kenjaku's plans. Then comes the meeting with Itadori Yuji. This time, Gojo doesn't let things reach a life-or-death crisis. The cursed spirit haunting Yuji's school is exterminated before its seal can put his friends in danger. Gojo sits down with Yuji and lays out two options: go back to a normal life once the finger is secured, or become the vessel, accept the risks, and help destroy Sukuna for good. Yuji feels respected. He was given a choice, and without hesitation, he picks the second option, so he can protect as many people as possible. Meanwhile, Gojo and Nanami start tracking the wild curse activity in the city. Before Mahito can get anywhere near Junpei, before the manipulation can even begin, Gojo and Nanami secure him and his mother. Junpei is saved, spared from the soul transfiguration that was supposed to destroy him. Gojo brings Junpei into Tokyo Jujutsu High as a new student and introduces him to Yuji. The two click instantly, geeking out over their favorite movies. And just like that, a friendship begins. One family saved. Yuji never has to lose his first real friend. And Mahito? He's losing his mind because every single one of his targets keeps vanishing without a trace. Kenjaku moves exactly as predicted, but Mahito has already been neutralized, and Choso has exposed every one of Kenjaku's secrets. The whole plan starts falling apart. Kenjaku comes in person to retrieve the prison realm, walking straight into a trap that's been waiting for him. The fight is short, but brutal. Kenjaku screams in fury at Choso's betrayal, and Choso answers with his fists, avenging his little brothers, followed by an assault from Geto, who will never forgive the monster that tried to steal his body. Desperate, Kenjaku plays his final card, the prison realm. But before the seal can open, Gojo rips it straight out of his hands. Kenjaku's last hope, gone. Just like that. And in the final second before unlimited void swallows everything, what Kenjaku sees isn't a sorcerer he can beat. It's a being with no openings at all, one holding complete control. One target left, Ryomen Sukuna. With Kenjaku gone and no outside chaos, they have all the time in the world to modify the prison realm with Tengen, reworking it to seal Sukuna's soul, not his body. Yuji has also been training under Gojo and Choso, making sure his consciousness can never be taken over. So when Sukuna tries to seize control of Yuji's mind, he's stunned. There's nothing for him to grab onto. Gojo smiles. The prison realm opens, then slams shut, and the cruelest soul in Jujutsu history is sealed away, without claiming a single life. With the main soul gone, every one of Sukuna's fingers scattered across Japan loses its power and crumbles to dust. The Jujutsu world finally greets a new dawn, and this time, everyone who matters is still alive to see it. A new world is born. No Shibuya Incident, no culling game, just another peaceful morning at Tokyo Jujutsu High. Students groaning about training, Geto nagging Gojo, Nanami and Haibara enjoying a lazy afternoon. Somewhere out there, Amanai Riko is growing up happy, living her life, going to college like any ordinary girl. Out on the field, Yuji, Nobara, Megumi, and Junpei are racing each other, laughing, while Maki, Mai, and Yuta spar cheerfully nearby. Under a tree, Choso smiles, watching his little brothers live side by side with humans, without fear. From the corridor, Gojo takes it all in, and his eyes well up. Geto walks over and pats his shoulder. Gojo just says he's enjoying the view, and thanks him for still being here. Under a peaceful sky, a new generation grows up happy, and Gojo Satoru, in his second life, finally knows what peace feels like. And that's what happens when Gojo Satoru is reborn with all his memories. A story that was never just about power, but about learning to trust the people around you before it's too late. If you'd write this scenario differently, drop your version in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video!